Family members are sometimes enemies who are forced to live together. Hello, my name is Miranda. Before continuing my story, I invite you to subscribe and above all, do not forget to activate the notification bell. I grew up in a small town. I come from an average family. The living conditions were difficult, but my parents managed as best they could to take care of my 4 brothers and me. I spent my high school in a school attended by both internal and external students. Internal students are those who are admitted to the boarding school. Meanwhile, external students were day students. I was among the internal students. Every vacation, I went home to spend some time with my family. Since we spent a lot of time away from them during school periods, holidays were the perfect time to spend time with them. At the age of 16, when I was in lower 6th, I decided to spend the holidays with my aunt. She was sick, and I wanted to take care of her. The day we left the boarding school, my older brother picked me up, and we went to Aunt Diane's house. When I arrived, I was so happy to see her again. She was in bad shape, and it bothered me a lot. Aunt Diane was a widow. She lost her husband very early. She had 2 children at that time, 2 boys, Frank and Max. Frank was the eldest. He was 16 years old, and Max was only 14 years old. The last time I saw them, we were still very small, and I was really happy to be among them again. I spent a lot of time with my aunt. I did everything to please her. In the morning, I brought her breakfast in bed. Then I helped her take a bath. Since I knew how to cook, I did everything for her. She was happy and gave me a lot of gifts. I even turned out to be the best child in the house. My cousins, on the other hand, were not happy with the relationship I had with their mother. He reminded me all the time that I had taken away their affection from her. Frank always said, "I pray that the holidays will end quickly so that you can leave." Of all the 2 boys, Frank was the one who hated me the most. He didn't like to see me near him. We were arguing all the time, and it affected my aunt a lot. "Do you want me to leave, Frank?" "But why? I take care of Aunt Diane pretty well. You can see that she needs me. Since you've been here, she only has eyes for you. She even considers you her real child more than even us. Everything she gives you should have been ours." "I'm sorry, I didn't know it bothered you so much. I thought you were happy that someone took care of your mother." I felt more and more upset. I didn't expect my cousin to react like that. Frank started stealing his mother's money so I could be accused. He always made blunders and made me wear the hat. But fortunately for me, Aunt Diane never believed it. I remember one day he stole a huge amount of money and hid it in my bag. "Mom, I didn't take it, I assure you. Try to search my bag and also in other people's bags. I bet you'll find the culprit," insisted Frank. "Aunt Diane, I didn't take this money." "How could I take it?" I said when the money was found in my bag. "I know who took this money." "Frank, I know it was you who took this one and put it in Miranda's bag." "Why did you do it?" she asked. Frank, covered in shame, replied arrogantly, "Mom, you don't love us anymore. The only person you love is Miranda, yet she is not your daughter. I won't allow you to speak like that. Miranda is my sister's daughter, and she is my daughter just like you and your brother. Put that in your head." He got up and left the house. He didn't want to accept that. As time passed, Frank was more and more distant. I knew he was preparing something, but I didn't know what. One evening, while Aunt Diane had gone to the hospital, I was alone at home. I wanted to take advantage of the calm to rest, so I decided to take a bath before going to bed. When I was in the shower, I heard a noise. I closed the water column to get reassured. At that moment, I heard footsteps. "Who is there?" "Aunt Diane, is that you?" "Frank?" No one answered. I got scared. I started shaking, and I hurried out of the shower. But as I went out, I felt a hand holding me tightly and untied the towel I had tied to my bust. Before I realized it, this man had raped me. I couldn't see his face, 'cause he was wearing a hood. When he left, I hastily got up. I was hurt. Hurt in my flesh. Hurt in my mind. I couldn't believe what had happened to me. I went into the shower again, this time to remove the trace of this odious act. I just suffered. I was crying hot tears because I was in pain. I got out of the shower and immediately went to bed. That night, I stayed in the room without leaving until the next morning. Nevertheless, I still woke up in the morning, despite the fact that I had not been able to sleep. I went to see my aunt in her room to tell her the truth. "Aunt Diane, can I come in?" "Yes, my daughter. You can come in. What is wrong, my daughter? What is the matter? Are you sick? No, Aunt. No, everything is fine. I just want to see Mom. I miss her. I wanted to finish this last week with her before returning to the boarding school. Are you sure everything is fine? You're all pale. I am fine, Aunt. I'll call your mother tomorrow so she can send your brother to pick you up. I left her room in tears. I couldn't tell her the truth. No, I just couldn't. The next day, my brother came around 4 p.m. When I saw him, I was relieved. At least his presence did me good. I went away under the gaze of my aunt and her 2 sons. Frank looked at me with a guilty look. I felt like he was hiding something. I had the impression that he wanted to talk, that he wanted to apologize to me. Back home, I was very happy to see my mother again. I felt somehow safe. I wanted to go snuggle up in his arms and tell her everything I went through, but I didn't dare to do it. I decided not to say anything to anyone. The following week, I went back to the boarding school since the holidays were over. After a month of class, I realized that I was pregnant. My God, it's not possible. I can't be pregnant. What am I going to do with my studies? What will I become? I rushed to announce it to Katie, my best friend. She was the only one who knew the truth. Katie, my parents are going to kill me. My life is fucked up. What am I going to do? Wait a moment. Why are you saying all this? What's going on? What do you have? Katie, I'm pregnant. Calm down. We'll find a solution. I'll go see Nathalie. She probably knows someone who can get rid of this. I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know, Miranda? I didn't really know what to do. I was confused. I wanted to get rid of this child, but I was far too scared.